1,200 metres for race number 6, a Class 3 contest. It's a good one as well. Headed by Breeders' Star, drops back into Class 3 company, where he's won twice in the past. Fairy Twins, a two-time course and distance winner. Telecom Brothers on a hat-trick, but it gets up in trip. Little Bird, course and distance winner, 2 starts back. Cheek Pieces go back on. Zero Hedge beaten favourite on his last 2 starts. Mighty Maverick, a 4-time winner. They've all been at Shartin. Waldorf goes up in class, his last start course and distance win. And Phantom Falcon. The headgear comes off, hood and the visor. He likes to roll. He's come up with a good gate as well. Barrier 4, Eddie Lai in the saddle. Now, Mighty Maverick has been up at Chung Fo, and again, he returned on Christmas Eve.
Well, the key runner with regard to the speed map is Little Bird, how quickly he can actually step from the machine and get into motion. We know last start he drew barrier 12. He took a while to get there, and it was his undoing. Prior to that, he drew gate 2 and was a roaring winner. So if Telecom Brothers can pester him early and make it more difficult, and maybe even Phantom Falcon, that will reduce the Bird's chances.
The Bird has flown. Breeders' Star comes here back to Happy Valley. He's going nicely there. That's on 197 in the white saddlecloth. And he's had his last 2 starts at Sharton. He's a lot better here at Happy Valley. Here is the Bird. He's flying, low flying here. He's going nicely enough. And Derek Long aboard. He change of jockey there, and he goes nicely as well. Does Little Bird. So if he can get to the front, we know he can be tough to run down. I thought this wasn't bad from Happy Time. Again, Derek Long did the work on him. He's not riding him on race day. Douglas White's riding him on race day. Derek's on Little Bird, but it was a nice piece from him.
All right, OK. We're going to start off with the hat-trick seeking Telecom Brothers. Both his wins over the 1,000 metres. He's tried 1,200 5 times here in Hong Kong. He's only placed once.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, that he has won his last 2 at 1,000 after running a reasonable race at 1,200, but being overhauled by Starlight and crew and Good Beauty the start prior. So I get the feeling, you know, probably 1,100's about his trip, but more weight to carry here. I think there's not a lot of speed. He'll be there for a long time, but I'll tip against him to win. Yeah,
I haven't got him. And I just wonder if he's sort of got to his mark now of those 2 wins. And 1,200 is not ideal.
OK, you could probably say it's probably about right for Little Bird, though. He's a course and distance winner, and he's come up with barrier 6.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's the key, because he, as Brett mentioned earlier on, he drew 12 and had to work so much to get to the front and set it up for the back runners. I think he can lead. The blinkers come off, the cheek pieces will go back on him, and this is what he can do when he leads. And so, look, he stood up, he's waving to the crowd, wasn't he? I'll stick with him.
Yeah, if he gets rolling like that and turns in with a decent break, he'd be very hard to run down.
Yep, C+3 course as well. Another last start winner, Waldorf, worked towards it, or has been working towards it all season. His 6th start was a winning one, beating Noble Delight.
Yeah, you spotted him early, Andrew, and he's really lifted his form of late, actually going quite well. Well enough to elevate himself from Class 4 back into Class 3, where he's had 8 goes, but he's never been in this form.
Yeah.
So I think he's a player. I'd be, you know, a bit scared if I left him out of the TT.
Yeah, I've got him in the... I was the Quinella chance. I just think he's the penny's dropped, he's fit, and he's a horse that was a tough win, that too, because he was wide most of the way.
He was. He's got barrier 8 again, which looks a bit awkward on paper, maybe. This is Breeders' Star that we're having a look at now. 1,200 metres. Running second on this occasion. This is behind Starlight.
Yeah, this is a very good form line. We know how well Starlight's been going this season. Silvestre de Souza has had the 1 ride on this horse for the 1 win. It was last season, and the last time he was in Class 3 was this performance right there. And I think from barrier 1, even though he's got top weight, he will be stalking the pace when they come to the turn, and lurking in behind, give him some chance.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't put him in the end. I tried to get him in, but I just couldn't get him in the end. But the thing that swayed me was he's only a little horse of a big weight.
All right. Again, certainly don't think it's a gimme here, Paul, but who do you end up with?
I went with Little Bird. If he gets in front and gets his own way, we can see he's got a devastating finish there, Little Bird. So he's on top to beat Waldorf, who I think's improving all the time. Phantom Falcon will be on the pace, and he comes in with a very light weight. He's quite close to a drop in class, so he's rated 61. Hood and visor come off, but I still think he can run well with the light weight. And Happy Time on the back of his track work. I snuck him in there for 4th. 4, 10, 12, 9. I will go exotic, so just in case Little Bird doesn't get in his own way.
Yeah, I'm going to take a chance on an each-way basis with the toppy Breeders' Star. He did run that nice race behind Starlight 3 back. Last start, he was just over 4 lengths behind Raging Storm, who's been in good form of late. He's won 2 on the trot. Reasonable time. He had a torrid trip from barrier number 12. I think Back to the Valley's better. Ferrara stable going well. Hopefully you get an each-way price. Little Bird's the danger. And then Telecom Brothers to run well, but the distance will probably test him. Paul might be right. Waldorf might be going well enough to even possibly win this race. I've got him in for 4th, but you know, I'd be brave. You'd be brave to leave him out of Exotics Waldorf. He's at the peak of his powers at the moment.
Certainly is, yeah. And he had good form in New Zealand as well coming out of there, so he's definitely not out of his grade. He goes in for me again.